Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aspire to Inspire, where we highlight industry professionals, aspiring actresses, working actors, working actresses. We interview them all here. I am actually so excited to just highlight this young, amazing young woman who is growing so amazing within this entertainment industry. She is an actress. She is a creator of her own web series. Let's talk about that, creating content, especially in a time like this. Not only did she create her own web series, but she is also the executive producer of her very own web series, guys. And she's only 13 years old. So without further ado, I will keep rambling until my wheels turn. But I'm so excited to bring our guest. She is amazing. Her personality truly shines through, and I just met her within 5 minutes of doing this. So that tells you a lot about someone. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our lovely guest from our virtual backstage on here. Kai, sweetie, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Like I said before, thank you so much for joining this platform. Especially in a time like this, we just need to share positivity, be able to be there for one another, and just highlight each other, especially the credits and the resume and bio that you have. You definitely deserve to be highlighted and recognized for the work that you've accomplished. So we're just going to jump right into this interview. I hope you're excited as I am.
Definitely am. And I want to thank you for inviting me. Thank you for all the things you said about me.
Oh, no problem. No problem. We're just going to jump right into this, Kai. Girl, just tell me about yourself. Let the viewers know who you are and what you're about. This is your time to take the floor.
Okay, well, I consider myself just an everyday girl. I have a lot of hobbies. Like, I like to crochet. I did my own braids. I just did these. And yeah, I just got into a lot of things recently. So
yes, of course. But let's talk about your acting. Where did that passion begin? Where did the love of acting come from?
I really feel like it was just made for me. I started when I was around 5 or 6, and I was literally just watching Disney. And I was like, hey, how did they come up with that? Like, is that really people's lives? People are just that interesting? I was just confused, and I really wanted to know. But once I got on set, I knew it was right for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. And girl, let's talk about your first breakthrough role. You were able to play the role of Tanesha, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in Tyler Perry's film, If Loving You Is Wrong. Girl, talk about that experience. What was it like to be on set, to be within that community? Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, it was just amazing. Mr. Tyler Perry is so inspiring, and he's really great with kids. Like, he was always cracking jokes and stuff. And I really didn't really know him like that until my mom told me, hey, that's Madea right there. Oh my gosh, what?
I love that. And it's so funny because not a lot of people know Tyler Perry is Madea, but once they know, they're just like, no way. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, that's beautiful that you shared your love for acting starting at such a young age, you loving Disney. Any kid wanted to be on Disney Channel. I don't care how old you are. There was a point in your life you wanted to be on Disney. And for you to just watch TV, say to yourself, I want to do this, and actually pursuing it, that's all inspiring, girl.
Thank you.
Of course. But let's dive a little bit deeper with your experience with acting. A lot of people have different experiences when they're venturing off the career of acting. Talk a little bit about, some of the lessons, the major lessons you've learned, whether, with your journey of acting. So what were the major lessons you had to learn throughout your journey of being an actress?
I mean, it's hard. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get that special yes. I mean, I've gone months without getting a yes. And you just really have to remember that this is right for you. And you have to learn that acting is about the auditions. It's about the opportunities. It isn't just about being on set, even though that's incredibly fun. You have to find the love in the auditions, because without that, it's really hard.
No, girl, listen, I totally understand that. And not a lot of people know that. With your film background, you've been on films such as, Good Behavior, Faith Under Fire, Vampire Diaries, Bad Dad Rehab. Those are films and shows that you have under your belt, and it's obvious that you worked really, really hard to be a part of those projects and to just be a part of that environment. And I love because you talked about it is really, really hard. Girl, there's been so many times I've heard actors saying, I've been doing this for XYZ number of years. I haven't got that role yet. And sometimes it'd be 10, 20 years down the line. And if you mind me asking, how long have you been, with your journey of acting? How long have you been doing that?
I mean, I've been doing it for maybe half of my life at this point. So, it's hard, but you really got to have the love. And I definitely have it now.
Yes, of course. See, for you, it took half of her life. And I'm just trying to make a point to the audience that this is a really challenging craft. Acting, it's not for everyone, and that's okay. Yeah. But for those who really want it, just go after it. And that's obviously what you did. And you proved it, especially with your film credits, girl. Don't get me started. But with that being said, do you have any advice or any form of encouragement for viewers who might be interested in acting? They could be around your age, they can be older, they can be younger. Do you have any type of advice for them?
Just remember that you got this, and it's going to come for you one day. You have it, and it's going to come. You just got to wait for your moment. And one of these millions of auditions that you get are going to be a yes. And you're just going to go off and have all this fun on set. It's going to be amazing. You just got to wait for that time. You got it.
Yes, girl. Talk about it. Patience is the big thing she's saying. Be patient and go for it. Girl, you should be a motivational speaker. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, just go for it. That's the main thing I took away. Thank you so much for sharing, Kai.
No problem. And also remember to not only have acting, also have other hobbies and stuff that you do. Like I said, I do hair. I haven't mastered anything, but I have done 4 or 5 different hairstyles. I love messing with my natural hair and my sisters and my mom's. I've done their box braids, passion twists, faux logs. I've done a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
I did that. I've done crochet. I made a little shirt for myself a while ago. I've done gymnastics. I've done everything you can think of.
No, that's good. Especially with this career as an actor, you can't solely just focus on acting. It will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it will literally drive you insane, constantly thinking about when's the next role I'm going to get, or I didn't hear back from that audition. And I love that you talked about some things that you do. That's hair, that's being, doing clothing, doing your sister's hair. That's so adorable. I love that. Talk a little bit more about the, not in a sense, training, but what other type of activities do you do? I know in your bio, you say you do a little bit of musical stuff. I'm not going to say much, but you can definitely take the floor.
Yeah, I played violin for 3 years, and then I played piano since I was like 5. I also I self-taught myself how to play the ukulele. I sing a little, I play the guitar a little. So, I'm really into music. I love music. I've done gymnastics, like I just said. I'm going to high school next year, so I'm about to start trying to practice volleyball to try to get myself into that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff. Oh, and I saw in your bio that you live in Philadelphia. My sister is going there next month for dental school.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to your sister one. And yes, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. But that's awesome. Yes. And, just being able to be exposed to all that, especially at a young age. And you're 13, correct?
Yeah, I'm 13.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you're so young and you're still learning so much about yourself and what you want to do in this world that I strongly encourage viewers to definitely hone on to something else creative wise. I love how you involve sports. Not everybody is creative. Some people might like sports more than acting, in a sense. So always dive into something that's, for you. Don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do. Obviously, you love all the things that you do. If you didn't, you wouldn't be doing them, to say the least. But yeah, definitely submerge yourself into something. I love how you shared that, girl.
Thank you. And I would also like to thank my parents because I'm 13, so I can't drive myself anywhere. But for a lot of this stuff, I do have to be driven there.
Nah, girl, give props to your parents. There are our personal Uber, if I say so myself. But that's amazing. Yes. Props to the parents.
Yeah.
I actually want to dive right back into acting again, just keeping that topic. In a sense, is your dream role? That's what I want to ask. What is your dream role and how are you preparing for it now? You can be as imaginative as you want or creative as you want. So I really want to hear from you.
Okay, I definitely have two dream roles. So mine would either be like the main character in a comedic show or like the one of the main characters in a serious movie, something like that. And some ways I'm preparing is the things that I'm executive producing are actually my dream roles. Like with Hunter, it was a comedic role in a show. And the thing that I'm executive producing right now, it's more serious. So, I just put it out there. I show people how it would look in that environment and in that show so they can see.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. And I keep saying I love because I agree with you so much. And I'm inspired by what you're talking about. So I'm inspired in the fact that you didn't wait for someone to create something for you. You decided to go out there for yourself, create your own web series, not only star in it, but produce it, executive produce it yourself. You know, in a sense, if you don't mind me asking this, how important do you believe it is for young actors or just anybody to create your own content? Can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, you have to, because like I said, there's going to be times where you go months or even years without a yes or a role. So you have to create content for yourself to show people how you would be in that sense. And you have to build up your social media and stuff like that, because now we're getting in more of a time and age where you have to have some type of social media presence to get something sometimes.
Yeah, most definitely. And honestly, you're like the young Issa Rae in the making. Just to speak positivity out there, we all know her story. She created her own platform, got recognized for it, and now she's basically a phenomenon right now. She is a global figure right now, especially within the film and entertainment industry. So, girls, speaking into positivity, you're the next Issa Rae. You heard it here from Aspire to Inspire.
So sweet. Thank you.
Oh, girl, stop it. No problem. We're here to amplify voices. We're here to just inspire and motivate, because this is a very, very challenging industry. And like you said, it may take forever to hear a yes, but you're creating that for yourself. So it's going to come quicker.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. So I actually have a few more questions I want to ask in regards to your web series, Hunter, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Where did the idea of the web series come from? Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
I mean, of course. So we were in quarantine, and of course, auditions were slowing down. I wasn't getting as much. So I was like, hey, why don't I make something for myself? So I got together with my cousin, he went to film school. So he's really interested in film and stuff. He's helped in other stuff that I've done, stuff like that. So I got together with him and we came up with this idea. And I filmed it in my own house.
Wow.
So we didn't have to really find a place to film it and ask those people who live in that house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we just did it.
Yeah, I mean, simple and straightforward. That's how I like it, And with creating your own web series, where did the idea of becoming an executive producer alongside being an actress come from? Could you talk about how you wanted to get involved with executive producing your own content?
Well, I was, like I said, like how I got into acting, I was just looking at shows and I was like, well, what if I did the acting part of it inside of figuring out the filming and the writing and the casting and all that stuff? Why don't I kind of take all of that in and do it all by myself and with my cousin and with my parents and stuff like that? Why don't I try that? And it went out pretty well. So
yeah, it definitely went out really, really well. And not only did you, jump on the idea, you did this dream of yours, this idea, this concept during a time in which everything was shut down. And I just want to highlight how important that is, that even in the midst of everything that was going on, quarantine, the world was spiraling out of control, creativity seemed as though it was nowhere in sight. You were still able to find hope, be able to chase for your dream, and just to keep going, not sitting around waiting for someone to give you something. You created your own platform. And I am all inspired just talking to you in regards to that. Girl, that is so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're being so sweet.
No, I mean, that's who I am naturally. I'm not going to lie. But, it's just crazy because so many people don't have that mindset like you do. And I'm pretty sure, that mindset comes from support, comes from family, comes from, like you say, your cousins, your family, your friends, everything within that circle, that environment. They infuse life into you, and it all boils down to mindset. And that's what's key. And that's what's important. And you definitely got a good attitude and a good mindset.
Yeah, I owe it all to, like I said, my parents. And I'm lucky enough to be surrounded in a very happy and a very supportive environment. So they support me in anything I do. Of course, their first thought when I was 5 or 6 years old, talking about, I want to be an actress, they were like, yeah, okay. But me asking for an entire year, they were like, oh, okay, sure. Let's figure this out.
Right. And that's where it comes down to trust. They trusted you. They saw that this is something you wanted to do. You executed it flawlessly, and you were able to create a name for yourself. I'm sure, your name, Kai Trué, is going to be in lights, girl. You heard it here. It's going to be in lights. Just give yourself some time and keep working hard.
Definitely will.
Of course. And
being really big. I can see you being like the next Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, girl, it makes my heart so happy. Thank you so much. And yeah, girl, we're just here to highlight each other, just to, spread positivity. Like I said before, I'm sounding repetitive, but hey, this is the truth. This is what my heart is saying to me. But moving on from the interview, I just have a few more questions for you. I'm really enjoying this. One of my questions I wanted to ask is a futuristic question. Where do you see yourself in the future? So, Kai Trué, 15 to 20 years down the line, 10 to 15 years down the line, where do you envision yourself? Where do you desire to be?
So me, Kai Turé, when I see myself in 10 years or 15 years, I see myself, well, currently I'm in Atlanta, but I see myself maybe in LA or New York, just being successful as an actress and executive producer, and just happy living probably by myself. Just, living life.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, do you want to still venture on with acting, or do you want to be more behind the scenes? I'm pretty sure you still want to do acting and you still want to do producing. Have you ever thought about possibly directing your own material? Has that ever come across your mind?
I mean, the whole thing I've thought about. I've thought about writing. I've thought about directing, all that stuff. But I really think that acting would probably be my go-to thing.
Yeah, no. Don't hesitate. Don't probably. It will be. That's how we speak here. We speak manifesting things. We want to manifest our future. So if you see yourself as a full working actress in LA or New York or wherever you want to be, it will happen for you because you spoke it into existence. I'm a huge person when it comes to manifesting things and what you want in life.
Yeah, I've seen miracles work for people who manifest, so I definitely need to start trying that.
Yeah, I mean, girl, you got time. You're young. You got a whole 10 to 15 years down the line to master that, girl. But it's crazy. I really don't want this interview to end, but I have one final question for you, if you don't mind me asking. I ask this to all my guests, actually. And it's basically my closing question. And this is basically it. Kai, how do you desire to use your platform, to inspire other people?
I would like to inspire other people to be themselves and to just have confidence in themselves, try new things, and just be happy in your own body and be yourself and confident. And I will also want to inspire people to stress less. I was in a project with my Girl Scout troop, which is another thing I'm in.
Awesome.
I'm in a Girl Scout troop, and we did a project about stress less. Because in quarantine, you see how, I don't know if you saw, but a lot of people were talking about adults, and nobody was really talking about how quarantine was affecting the kids and how they couldn't go see their friends at school or even be at school.
Mm.
I know we used to talk about how we hate it so much, but it had a big toll on us.
Yeah, I mean, I love how you're highlighting things you're a part of. Again, I am a fellow Girl Scout as well. I used to be, but you know, the importance of stress and your mental health, that's extremely important. And especially for young individuals, this quarantine changed a lot of our lives around. And like you said, I believe it really affected youth the most because their lives changed in like a snap. Can't go to school anymore, can't see your friends. Or if you're in school, your desk is like 6 feet away from each other, or you can't go outside and play like you used to. So, you know, I want to actually talk a little bit about the project. You know, where did that idea come from? And, you know, what are some things that we can expect about that film that you did with your fellow Girl Scouts?
So we actually came up with the idea way before quarantine, just talking and just thinking about kids. And we were like, hey, looking at social media and stuff and how kids are now really stressed and everybody has anxiety and depression and stuff like this. We were like, wow, we really need to figure out a way to kind of hold this down. And then quarantine came and we were like, oh my goodness,
Mm.
this could really be something that could actually help a lot of kids. So we came up with this video and we had 3 ways in there to calm yourself down and to really stress less.
Well said. Well said. And, you know, with that being said, you know, just continue to put more content out there. I really do envision you as a triple threat, you know, an actress, director, producer, the young Marseille Martin, to say the least. Come on, girl. You definitely have a bright future for yourself. I'm again honored and privileged to have you a part of Aspire to Inspire. And honestly, you have the last words. If there's anything inspirational or motivational you would like to say to the viewers, now is your time. And where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on all platforms as the Kai Ture, Kaiture. Like she has down there actually. The at
I have it down there for you. Don't worry, girl. I got you.
Thank you. And like I said before, be yourself. You got this. There's gonna be times where you'll be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe all these no's are trying to tell me something. They're not. It's everybody gets a million no's before they get that yes. You got this. It's coming. I'm telling you. And just be yourself.
Oh, that is so well said, Kai. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Stick around. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more after this is finished. But viewers, again, I cannot thank you enough for tuning in to another episode of Aspire to Inspire. Follow me on all social media platforms as well. Thank you so much for your time. We have more guests coming soon, so don't you worry, don't you fret. We are here for you. More inspiring stories to come. Thank you so much, Kai.
Thank you so much for having me.